Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Thoughts about the pretty boy chasers. What's a pretty boy chaser, right? What's a pretty boy chaser? You know what? A pretty boy chaser is my term for women who are ultra focused on a man's looks. Ultra focused. Because, okay, yeah, we know looks matter to y'all. Let's get that out of the way. We know looks matter to you, but the average woman, and y'all know I'm right. The average woman is not only concerned about a man's looks, but a man's other things with the man. At the minimum, for most women, it'll be his looks and, how he makes her feel emotionally. And then, depending on the social class, what's his status, what he do for a living, how his shoes look. Y'all know how y'all do, right? Y'all got a whole checklist. That's one thing I get of y'all. Y'all look at the big picture with a man and look for the best version, the guy who has like the best combination of things. And that's cool. Y'all, it's just what y'all do. It's what y'all supposed to do. I don't have a problem with it. And if y'all pay attention on my men's channel, even though I emphasize the body game, I really be telling men to get other stuff too, right? That's understandable. But there's a percentage of women I've encountered in life. I call them pretty boy chasers because that's all they looking at. That's all they looking at. You know what? They can run it. Pretty boy chasers, they want that guy who's like, not just handsome, extremely handsome. Now, I remember when a certain woman, I can call her name, she's actually a well-known troll on here. We actually had a conversation back in the early 2000s. And I can't remember why we ended up in a conversation. But I remember she said, all men are ugly. Right? Well, most men are ugly except for somebody who look like Rick Fox. Rick Fox, that's what she wanted. And I'm like, Rick Fox is he's like in his own class. For y'all ladies who know what Rick Fox looked like he's older now. So imagine him like 20 years ago. Even now, I mean, this the same guy who he could cheat on Vanessa Williams, a former beauty queen. Like, wait a minute. You get very few guys that look like him or maybe a Shamar Moore. The guys y'all just women consider extremely handsome. Now, some women will see that guy and they think he's extremely handsome, but then they still want to know, okay, what he talking about? What he doing for himself? Is he a good person? All of that. And that's cool. That's cool. That's normal. But you get some women don't even get past that. They so focused on that pretty boy chaser, they actually miss like maybe a conventionally handsome man who can like meet all their other needs. That's what's deep about it. Because, okay, I understand. A lot of women don't want some dude they consider ugly. Okay, fine. But if you really think about it, a significant amount of men out there are at least conventionally handsome. Because what's handsome really? Handsome mean he just fix himself up. He take care of himself, grooming. Make sure that lineup is tight. Make sure he brushes his teeth and all of that. And, but then the woman looking at, okay, is he cool? Do y'all click? He keep his clothes clean, got a place to stay, drives a decent car. All right, yeah, fine. But see, a lot of women will miss out on a good man who's actually compatible with them because they looking for that man who looks a certain way. And even though, and I've talked about this like maybe on my Rom TV, how some of those guys who look really good can have some issues. Let's be real. When you get those pretty boy chasers, they just hand the man the poo. They just hand it to him. I mean, he could have a bad character, but it influences their behavior to the point where they just do some stuff that just don't make any sense. But he looked good. It's like I say about some men who get in trouble with some women. Because let's be real with men. Let's be real, ladies. Y'all know this. Most men are just looking at your physicality anyway. Yeah, I'm trying to tell them look at more, but we just got to be real with it, right? But when you get a woman on that same thing, the women, I've never failed to see the women get dogged. I mean, I've seen women like this. They'll reject like a conventionally handsome guy, got some stuff going on. Like I've actually talked with some women like that. I was like, because I figure it like this, because it's hard for me to judge another man ultimately. So sometimes I'll say, women tell me that, oh, he got to be this and that. It's like, okay. Sometimes on some occasions, I'll be able to talk with the friends of the women, and I'll be like, well, what kind of guy she be rejecting? You see, they'd be like, Rom, that guy's handsome. That guy's this and that. Nah, he ain't, he ain't gonna get a modeling contract, but shit, nobody gonna, he'll make decent looking kids or something. That's the women saying that about their friends who are still rejecting the guy because the guy ain't that, or, the guy might be 3 pounds overweight. Like the women are looking for something perfect. And really, I'm gonna tell you what, that's a deeper issue for a woman or a man looking for someone physically perfect. It's usually connected with some type of sexual repression. Because when someone is extremely sexually repressed, it takes damn near perfection to get them out of it, to turn them on. Because a normal person, to be sexually turned on, male or female, they'll be turned on normally by normal looking people. If their sex drive isn't repressed, the more repressed, boom. I mean, trust me, I could do a video on that repression thing on my men's side as well. But, I look at the women, you feel bad. First of all, I mean, let's be real. How many women really see men that they consider extremely attractive? And I've asked several women, I say, how many guys you seen that you would label extremely attractive? First of all, just a plain, like even better than sexy fine. First of all, a lot of women don't see, I've talked to a lot of women, they don't really see that sexy fine, or I've used other terms. And they say, no, I don't see that. They usually see guys who they would call husband cute, or, just conventional, good groom and all of that. They can deal with them, right? So first of all, they limit their pool of men that you have. And then even if you ran into that man, why would that man want you? So, a lot of times guys like that, if they like that, they can be extremely picky. They can afford to be, They can afford to be extremely picky. So how's that, so the woman deals, and then she'll find out, like, in a bad way, she ain't all that. And usually if men like that really deal with a woman they ain't feeling fully attracted to, it's usually for gratification. It's usually for gratification. So the woman, she dealing with this guy, she's basically being dogged. Let's just call it what it is. She's being dogged. He'll do stuff with her that he can't do with a woman who he might consider more attractive, or at least got more self-esteem and more realistic, right? So it's like, wait a minute, you putting yourself in a bad position. Now let me be clear. This ain't saying, just go grab some ugly guy or something. I've done some videos on that. But if you really think about it, most men that y'all should be going for, going to have some level of attractiveness that y'all should be going for. Because remember, I say they don't go for dusties. I've been saying that. I said men got to have a minimum. It's reasonable for a man to have a minimum to deal with y'all. So that's a very important thing. But, I ain't gonna lie. I feel it's like, dang, I feel bad for them. Because trust me, I've seen some women like that. They be in their 50s and 60s still looking for Mr. Right. Seriously, it's like, I don't see how it works. And then a lot of them, it's so bad, like even when they get older, get married and try to settle for somebody who's simply conventionally handsome, they still not happy. But it's a deep thing. It's like I said, it's my thoughts on it. That's my thoughts on it. Like if any ladies are listening, if you've been one of those, feel free to share some. Ladies, the guys don't need to share anything on this. Now, I might be deleting comments. So, I mean, really think about it. Really, really think about it. But, those are my thoughts on the pretty boy chasers. All right? So anyway, ladies, I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.